Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage and the Smash Dispatch podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Fidel, joined alongside me, Ultima Shadow X.
Hello.
How you doing?
Excellent. I'm excited for this topic because we're going to be doing Zelda today, and Zelda's so weird in Smash, so I definitely have a lot to say.
We're definitely going to get to that. What have you been gaming this week? Have you played it?
I've been trying to finish Royal so I can get into 7R. I'm relatively close to beating Royal now, so...
Okay.
But yeah, that's what my focus has been for sure.
Okay, alright, cool. Yeah, I finished Royal. I finished FF7 Remake, and then I went back to Royal now, so I'm almost done Madarame's Palace. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah. And it was fun because yesterday I streamed Smash with viewers, and I was like, it's been a while since I did that, and obviously had a funny time. I also had that weird ass moment where nothing showed up on screen, which was
I've never
really
seen
funny.
that before in my life, right? Because normally if it's other player disconnected or that's so weird. I've never seen that.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go on my Twitter and just search scroll down a bit, just me. I pick Isabel, and then nothing shows up on screen, and then I go to the fight screen, it says game, and then when I win, instead of someone clapping on the bottom, it's just white, it's just blank. So it was a really funny random glitch. But yeah, anyways.
Actually, speaking of Persona and Smash, it was 1 year anniversary for Joker releasing.
Oh my god.
Yesterday, which is crazy. It doesn't even feel like a year.
That's insane. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, that character was definitely the peak, I think one of the peak hypest.
The peak reveal, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I would have loved if Joker got the treatment of Sakurai talking about it, because that was before he did the discussion presentations, where he would go in depth.
It's true. It would have been cool to see his thought process on everything about the character. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that would be a fun topic for another time, the Sakurai personality, how that grew over the years. But for now, today, as Ultima said, we are talking about Zelda Representation Smash. Also, there's not really any Smash news this week. There was just one Sakurai column, but it was actually just really depressing because he's just talking about the state of the world and nothing Smash. So, yeah, but this time we're going to talk about all things related to Zelda in the series, how it's evolved throughout the franchise, how weird it is in the franchise, and all that stuff. So let's go first let's go basic thoughts on stuff. So Alta, what are your thoughts on Zelda Representation Smash?
I think it's I think it's the weirdest out of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and I say that because I feel like until Ultimate, really, it was it was such a weird, it didn't fully celebrate the series despite having all the mainstay characters, because if you think about it, for Brawl and Smash 4, the characters sort of took on the appearances of their most recent incarnations.
Yeah.
Except for Smash 4, which went still with Twilight Princess, when a lot of people thought that they would go with Skyward Sword or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's because and Zelda has such a wide variety of characters, so that's why it's weird that they only stick to 3 different types of Links and Zelda and Ganon, and then you have Sheik, who was a side character in Ocarina of Time, and that was it. They had never, Sheik has never showed up in anything else again. You know what I mean? Sheik is Zelda, but still, Sheik has not showed up in any other media except for Hyrule Warriors.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, again, we're gonna get into it, but yeah, for me, it is a really, really weird ass representation, because it's got so many stages, it's got so many music tracks, it's got so many spirits, and it's had so many trophies and assist trophies and all that, but it's so weird how for characters all they've done is Link, Zelda, Ganon, right? And obviously we have Sheik, but it's so weird because obviously this is, after Mario, Nintendo's most recognizable and biggest IP, and you would think in some way it would be not Mario-fied to the point where there's that we did it last week for Mario, there's about 8 characters. You would think there would be at least 5 to 6 characters. Now I know in the case of Zelda, it's not the same as Mario where you have a bunch of iconic characters, right? It is for the most part in the Zelda franchise the 3, but there's still characters people really love, or villains people really love. I mean, the biggest complaint we had, especially before Ultimate, was that there was like a lack of villains, and obviously
Zelda
like,
villains are very iconic. Like I think, like
Yeah.
a lot of people remember villains in Zelda. You know, even if the villain does happen to end up being Ganon, there are side characters which we'll get into. But like you know, Girahim, a lot of people talked about Girahim back in the day. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's definitely a weird one, and let's kind of go piece by piece here with each of the characters represented. So first, let's talk about, I guess, base Link, like the regular Link, because yeah, like you said, the Legend of Zelda franchise is one of the few where the design changes based on the latest game. Like obviously in Smash 64, Link was based on Ocarina and Majora. And then in Melee, I mean, I think, wait, in Melee,
It was
he's
in the
still...
same for Melee too. Melee was also based off of the Ocarina of Time, because the Ocarina of Time
the
was
adult
why we
one, yeah.
had young Link. It's why we had Ganon looking like he does now again. We had old we had Ocarina of Time like younger Ganon, and then we also had Sheik and Zelda who looked up from that game too. So
yeah, I mean,
Ocarina of Time.
For sure. Yeah, I'd say for base Link, I really like him as a character. I think for the most part, I'm pretty sure he does everything I kind of expect Link to do throughout the games. I mean, like, he's got the boomerang, he's got the bombs, he's got, like, the sword spin, which is obviously, like, a move from the series. Like, he's got a lot of cool representations from the games. I really do love how, to differentiate him a bit in Ultimate, they gave him the Breath of the Wild, like, time bomb, which is, like, really...
Yeah, and
it's like a really
cool
cool
hook shot, because there's no hook shot in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's true.
It's cool. Like, I think... Link himself is what I would have wanted out of, like, a lot of the classic characters who have been there since the first game. Because, like, Link has changed. I would argue Link has changed the most because, you know, he gets updated, his appearance gets updated, or his moves will get updated. And it feels like, you know, compare that to Mario, who's just, like, and Donkey Kong, like, Mario has literally, they just gave him Flood. That was the only change. They gave him Flood and Brawl. That was it, you know?
It's so weird because, like, I mean, yeah, with Link, I feel like the base, like, he's always been a character I've enjoyed. I mean, we'll get to the Link I specifically prefer after, but base Link, he's always been fun. I mean, I think he does a decent job of representing, like, you know, the iconic look of Link and the feel. I feel like a good thing about him is that he gets the feel of him, right? He's one of the few characters who has the smash where you have to smash forward twice for 2 slashes, which has always been like a really satisfying and cool thing to land, because when you land that, like, you feel like it's a big heavy hit. So I think Link for the most part is really well represented. I did not like his Twilight Princess look for the most part, but I really do love
that's the thing. Like, the Twilight Princess designs in general, a lot of people, like, they were like, okay, well, that's the most recent one for the Wii, so we get it. And then people were like, why did we keep this for Smash 4? Like, I totally understand that. It just felt out of place, especially when you had a Skyward Sword stage. Like, I understand, like, maybe not a lot of people liked Skyward Sword, but, like, I still feel like that was a weird design choice to keep him as Twilight Princess.
It really was. I mean, like, and again, what's funny about Link is because there's 2 other Links, there's more ways to represent his gameplay. But yeah, it was really weird that they dipped out of Skyward Sword. Like, I don't know why.
Because, like, a lot of the like, if you think about how Brawl looked visually, they were going for a more, like, realistic, grittier style, and of course that fits with Twilight Princess. But in Smash 4 was kind of like back to the more cartoony style, which was more of Skyward Sword. So it's like even like visually, it just, like, it didn't make sense to keep them that way. Right. So I genuinely don't want to know what the thought process was there. But
maybe it was the fact that, like, because Skyward Sword is so, like, motion based and the way Link moves the sword and attacks is so different that Sakurai didn't want to feel like that version of Link was kind of misrepresented.
That could definitely be fair.
Yeah, because, like, maybe there would have been, like, there was a plan for it, but it actually took more work than they think. Like, maybe they wanted a mechanic where he holds up the sword to gather energy. Like, that could have been a really cool mechanic right there. But I mean, technically he does that with his up B that he holds on the ground. But yeah, I think overall for me, basic Link is pretty solid. How about you?
Yeah, I think Base Link, I think, is the one that is the most, like, if you're going to take an amalgam of all the stuff that you do in Zelda games, like, I think Link fits the bill pretty well. Like, it would have been cool if like maybe his down B would change to like a gadget from the game that he was like representing. Like it'd be cool. Like, imagine if you could pull out the spinner or something on Twilight Princess Link or whatever. But I think for in general, like again, because characters in Smash Bros. Have to represent sort of everything that they're from, and you have Zelda's so varied. But I think everything Link has in his arsenal like is iconic to Zelda. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, I think he does well. But then, obviously, with Link, we get other representations through, let's go with the second one, Young Link, right? So Young Link only appearing in Melee and now Ultimate. Like, back then, I felt like in Melee especially, it was super weird to have him. But like, I really liked Young Link. I think he's super fast. I do wish he, like you said, I wish he had like a move that was like different, because I think he for the most part is the exact same, right?
Yeah, his
properties
he's got fire arrows. His moves are different, and I guess there's more differences with him now in Ultimate than there were with Melee, because in Melee keep in mind he has the claw shot, which regular Link doesn't have anymore. His bombs explode on impact, which are not like the remote bombs, so he's more different than Link now than he was in Melee. Obviously, in Melee, he was just added as like a last-second clone just because they could, because you know that game was very rushed. Yeah. But I guess what peeves me a little bit about like Young Link coming back is like I felt that they could have used this opportunity to make him more Majora's Mask. Like he could have been he could have used different masks from that game, or his Final Smash just being a clone of Link's Final Smash. Also, like, come on, give him the Fierce Deity mask from Majora's Mask for his Final Smash. Like because Young Link has never used the Triforce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, speaking of Final Smashes, Link's Final Smash in Ultimate is boring. It's so bad. Like, why is it just an arrow shot?
I mean, I get why he has Zelda's old Final Smash, because she's the one who'd give you that bow. And to use it, but like also it's just like I don't know. The old Triforce Slash was pretty cool. I guess they just wanted to make Link more different than the other Links, you know.
But like, I wish it was more like Breath of the Wild. Like maybe you summon the four what are they called, the Guardians or whatever. The four dudes. Yeah,
the four giants. That could have been really cool too for a Young Link.
Something like that. But yeah, no, Young Link, I agree with you. Really weird character. But and I think he has the fire arrows too, right? So they're faster.
Yeah, the fire arrows have like knocked up people up instead of like just being a hit like Link's. So
yeah. Yeah, and I think I like how he has the Lon Lon milk that he drinks when he does his little taunt. And obviously, I mean, like, he's in Smash Ultimate because everyone is there. I don't think, like, it was necessarily of we need to bring him back. It's just convenient since everyone was coming back in there. Yeah,
for sure. And I do appreciate that he does play more different than regular Link. Right now.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
That's always good. Like it's good that you know when they bring back characters like Pichu or whatever that they've made an effort to at least if they're not going to change their moves, they can at least make them make a reason to play them over like the other character and vice versa. You know.
Yeah, and my personal favorite Link is Toon Link, because Wind Waker, well, now it's my second favorite Zelda, but like I adore that game, and I love the art style of Toon Link. I love how he looks. I like how they changed it in Ultimate now, where before he had the thing where you would press forward smash twice to do 2 slashes. Now it's kind of like an upward smash forward, which is really weird. Like
I think like if you want like my opinion how Toon Link is different other than like some of his properties on his special moves. The way I feel like the main way Toon Link is different is like he feels like a character who's like very big single hits. Like he doesn't really have any.
Exactly.
Like, his multi-hit moves are kind of limited, and his like moves are sort of like big single hits. If you know what you know what I mean. Like his up smash even, because you know how like Link swings it 3 times.
Yeah,
and Toon
exactly.
Link just swings it once. You know.
Yeah. He's definitely, like, again, I just like him. I like the speed he's got. I like the strength he's got. And obviously, like, he's very silly, which is, like, a lot of
his expressions are great. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, that's how I love, like, the eyes and just, like, the way his hair looks in it. Like, he's just, like, got such a solid, cool look. And, I also love that they give him the costumes, like, they give him the Dark Link costume for all of them, which is really cool. I mean, except now,
even if Dark Link, like, wasn't a fighter or wasn't a boss in the games, they still give it to them, which I think is really cool.
Exactly, yeah.
I also love how all the particle effects on the bombs like match like Wind Waker. You know what I mean? That's super cool
exactly,
too.
yeah. That's like such a cute detail where like it does the same kind of animated like spirals of smoke when you hit it. It's like those are like the little things I really appreciate, and I think that's what's cool about Link, I guess, as a character in the game. Of everyone has the choice of which Link they use. Like, which one is your like? I don't know if you play Link much, but which one's your go-to when you go to Link?
I like base Link just because I really like playing with the bombs a lot, and like I like being like sort of a bigger character, but I really do like playing all three of them for different reasons. Because again, like Toon Link. The visuals on that character, like, it's just really fun to mess around with all of his facial expressions. And then Young Link is, like, more combo-based. Like, you can do a lot of cool stuff with Young Link, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, like, Link in general has, like, a reputation for being one of the, especially Young Link, being one of the spammer characters where people just spam those fire arrows
everywhere.
Because they're so quick, and it's like, it drives me nuts when I fight against them online. But then another unique character that, like, spiraled into two characters. Let's talk about Zelda. So, Zelda obviously has been there since Melee and forward, never left. And was it in Melee, did she have the turning into Sheik ability? I think she did, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just never see it because nobody plays Zelda in Melee because she's like very weak. But like, yeah, so she was combined with Sheik in Brawl and Melee. And in Melee, if you wanted to swap to Sheik at the start of the match, I think you held the Z button or something like that and start as Sheik. You can start as Sheik. In,
I remember that.
In Melee. And then in Brawl, you could just pick her from the select screen, so.
Okay, yeah, that was always a weird choice. But yeah, like, Zelda, I think, as a character is really cool, especially as the games went on. I like that they incorporated more and more of her moves. Like, I really love the Phantom Hourglass, like, Phantom that she summons. I feel like that was, like, a really
Phantom,
cool change.
which was, that was from, Hourglass, and I think that's the form she took on in Spirit Tracks, too.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, in Spirit Tracks, you, like, take control of it and you move it around. And it's, like, I like, again, that's what's cool about the Zelda characters is something we've said a lot about, like, what we would have wanted from Mario, which is, like, cool changes towards the future games. And I think one of the best things they ever did was give Zelda the Link Between Worlds design in Ultimate, because, man, I purely wouldn't use Zelda in, like, Brawl or Smash 4 because, like, I hated the way she looked. She looked like she hated me. Like, she was so mad.
It was a very, like, a not fun personality. Like, super serious. It was a super serious Zelda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would say, like, I think also what's great about changing her appearance to the Link Between Worlds design is that that sort of really represents the top-down, like, classic Zelda games. And,
that's true.
You know, you have Link, but he's more based on his 3D incarnations as opposed to his top-down ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's also got she's got the side B that shoots that kind of blast. What's that from? I don't know if that's...
Okay, so Zelda's moves are all, like, pretty much unique. Like, they made up a lot of her moves just for Smash specifically. But the inspiration there's, like, there are powers of the goddesses. So you have, like, Nehru's Love, Din's Fire is the side B, which, like, it shoots across the screen. And then the up B is it's the wind. It's one of the goddesses' wind. I'm trying to remember now. Feore's wind, yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Her moves are all unique and but they're inspired by the goddesses from the Zelda. And honestly, those goddesses are like more like common in the 2D games. You know what I mean? Because you had like the Oracle games on the Game Boy, which had all the goddesses there. You know?
Right. Yeah. No. Like I hate characters with teleporting up Bs because I always miss the like I always do the thing where I like miss the ledge by a little bit and I just fall down. I'm like horrible with those because you obviously have to like it's a weird thing where you have to kind of plan exactly where you're gonna teleport to. Like you have to hold it in the right position. It's a really weird and unique thing with those teleporting moves. But like it's like for the most part, yeah, like I said, I like playing as Zelda. I think she's fun. She's never been a character I ever gravitate towards. The closest was in Smash Ultimate in the beginning where I really liked messing with her moveset and stuff. That her forward air is like crazy in this game for some reason where she gets that like if she gets
yeah,
like
she
right
always
in that
had the
sweet
lightning
spot.
kick since Melee, but they made it so much stronger this time around.
Oh yeah. And yeah, if you ever want to fight a really scary Zelda, play against Blunzy, because that is
that's
scary.
well, Zelda has like not only that, but Zelda has like this reputation of again like being it's an online Zelda, but people who actually know how to use her moveset are really scary to fight against.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like especially like because I think now you can move while you have there's something new with how you control the statue of like now you can summon it in parts, I think, so that like it can do different damages and come at different speeds.
Also,
so
when you fully charge it, you have a period where you can like move separately.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
It too, yeah.
And like you can like grab someone, like you could do some really cool, intense shit with Zelda. And yeah, I think for the most part, Zelda is very well represented. I mean, as much as you can for a character that's generally not playable in the games, I think they did a pretty good job with her. And then a character I have always hated with my life is Sheik. I never liked Sheik. I think I have an issue in general in Smash with characters that are like super like skinny
technical.
and like yeah, and technical. It's like even Joker, like I hate how like skinny and small he looks compared to the other characters. Like that kind of style is always like really weird to me. But like Sheik, I've never liked, I've never gravitated towards, especially obviously in Smash 4 where she drove humanity nuts. It's like, I just don't like the moveset, I don't like how the character plays, I don't like how technical they are. I kind of find most of the moveset boring. I don't know, how do you feel about Sheik?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sheik is cool, but it's a character that I don't enjoy playing purely for the fact that, like, you know, you have to work very hard to get stuff done with Sheik. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, people don't understand. People are like, oh yeah, you just get comboed by Sheik and blah blah blah. Okay, but like, it's still super hard to kill with Sheik. Like, you have to really make some plays or get like a good read with a smash attack to kill with Sheik, no matter how much damage. And I think that's what really kills me. Like, nothing like sucks my soul out more than being like a character's at like 130, 150, and it's just like, please die, please die. You know?
Yeah,
like I just please, I want to kill you. Like, you know what I mean?
God.
Like, even though like that she can do some super cool combos, it just like it doesn't feel satisfying to like rack up all that percent and then just like struggle to like get the kill.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the biggest problem. And like I just think like even like the moves are like all her just neutrals and forwards are like just like kind of a forward kick, an upward kick, a downward hit. It's like there's nothing like even her specials like okay, she's got the side B with like the explosive on the string, the down B. Is the down B the teleport or the up B, or are they both teleports?
Up B is the teleport, and down B is the bouncing. Well, it's the bouncing fish
right.
Since Smash 4
the bouncing fish. Yeah. Oh my God, in Smash 4, the bouncing fish was like an absolute bitch. I hated that thing.
I still have trouble like trying to aim it properly. Like it's a very sick move. Like it looks super cool.
Oh yeah. For sure.
But like I definitely like Sheik is one of those characters you have to commit a lot of time into to get results with, for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, it's always funny it's like you said with Sheik. Like Sheik really has only ever been a thing in Ocarina of Time. So it's so weird to see that they continuously kept the character. Obviously, Ultimate's different because everyone's there, but like in even whether it was Brawl or Smash 4, it was really interesting to see that they kept her. And again, it's cool that they did separate the character from Zelda just so that they're like, you know what, let's just give him an extra move or two and let it be its own thing.
Yeah, I think it was a decision that was made out of necessity because of the 3DS.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I'm actually someone who's kind of split on it because like for part of me is like because you never have a reason to like most people never have a reason to go between the two, but it was kind of cool that you had the option if you wanted to like change it up in the middle of a match. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I do think it was cool. It's like, okay, well, I maybe like you do a lot of damage to them as Sheik, and then you get them a good distance away, and you go to Zelda, and then you finish them with Zelda. Like, I think that was pretty cool, but I do think it's nice that they get a more fleshed out moveset between the two of them now, Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's for the better, sometimes, like, for example, like, I mean, I think Pokemon Trainer was an example of a bad use of that, of separating Charizard to lose Ivysaur and Squirtle. I did not like that, but in this case, I like that they separated him.
Right.
And then we have an obvious and iconic villain and character near Ganondorf, right? Ganondorf, a big... almost like a meme in Smash, right? Like in the Smash community with all the things he could do. And it's so that's the thing about Ganondorf, right? Is first of all really weird that he is heavily takes the moveset of Captain Falcon, right? Like they share a moveset basically for the most part.
Yeah, it is weird that they would make him of a clone of Falcon off the at the start. Like I don't really know. Maybe they just felt like Falcon's moves worked with the character, because like a lot of people like think of Ganondorf having more like mage, like magic ability, or like a beast mode, like Beast Ganon. Like even though it's his final smash, a lot of people associate that with him too, you know.
Yeah, no,
I think,
yeah.
And I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think like there was an interview where Sakurai said like that sort of Ganondorf being like sort of an older Captain Falcon in terms of like, you know, him being slow and everything, like sort of was inspired by his dad, like not being able to do like this, like the same things anymore. Like I swear to God, that's true.
What the fuck? That's so weird. But no, I mean, Ganon, I've personally never gravitated towards, just because in general I'm not a fan of like when a character is really slow. I just don't like heavies in fighting games, and even in Ultimate, like where everyone's faster, even he feels kind of slow and sluggish. But like again, the thing about Ganon is, I think everyone can kind of agree to this. Losing to a Ganon hurts your soul, just because like there's just something about it that hurts you. The way he hits you so heavily, the way if he lands his version of the Falcon Punch or whatever it is.
The Warlock Punch, yeah.
Yeah, the Warlock Punch.
I think more so in other games, like, because, like, you know, Ganondorf, he was okay in Melee, but Brawl and Smash 4, he was an absolute, like, joke.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people loved him because he was fun to play, and, like, you know, spiking people is always super fun. But he was always, just an awful character.
Yeah, exactly.
Until now, but
yeah. And I mean, like, that's it's like, first of all, I hated his older design. Like it was so the Twilight Princess design for Ganon is like horrifyingly ugly. I hate it. When I saw that they changed it to be the more 64 version, Ocarina version, I'm like, that is so cool. Like that is Ganon. That's how cool he looks. That's like such a cool.
I honestly I like that design, and the only other design I wish was like a costume was his design from Hyrule Warriors. That is such a sick outfit with the longer hair. But yeah, I am very thankful they went back to the older design. And not only that, I think, again, now doing that actually means that Zelda is more represented, because you have Zelda now for the top-down games. You have Link for Breath of the Wild. Toon Link is obviously like, you know, Wind Waker, those sort of games. People, you can argue that Young Link is Majora's Mask, and now you have Ocarina of Time for Ganondorf, you know?
Yeah, and and that's where it gets like really cool. I mean, like, firstly, yeah, and obviously I love his final smash. That I love that now it's the Pig Ganon from Ocarina. Really cool stuff there. Like I love little details like that, and it was really cool that he was a boss, right? Like that was
that's
really
very
dope.
cool too. And of course, most importantly in Ultimate is that he gets to use his sword. He's allowed to use the sword.
Exactly. Which
is something that the people have been wanting since Melee, because you know in Melee he pulls out like in every Smash game actually he pulls out the sword for like taunts or his win poses, and everyone's like, why doesn't he use the sword?
Exactly. That's why I love him in Ultimate, because I think they finally made him more unique than just a weird Captain Falcon clone. Like obviously he's got some moves, but now he's definitely got more of his own repertoire. So really cool stuff with Ganon. And that's it for the characters. I mean, before we go to the other aspects of the... So what do you think? Like, I really do think, in terms of characters I'd love to see, I really do think Majora is one of them. Like, I just feel like that character would be so weird and unique with all the powers and abilities. And obviously, that would be another villain in there.
Yeah, I think Skull Kid, I know there were a lot of people who wanted Skull Kid in Smash 2, and I definitely, like, feel with that, because I feel like Young Link, you know, he's Majora's Mask in, like, character and name only. He doesn't really do anything from Majora's Mask. It'd be cool to have Skull Kid from that game. As I said earlier, Girahim, a lot of people like Girahim. I mean, he was one of the more memorable characters from Skyward Sword, for sure, you know?
Well, he's got, like, a very... like Joker-like type of personality, where he's just really weird and creepy in the way he does his stuff.
Yeah, he has the laugh, like the Joker laugh, and that sort of thing too. You know, like also like this might be more obscure, but I always I really liked Vati from from Minish Cap and Four Swords Adventure. Like the Vati's a super cool character that doesn't get utilized as much, so that's definitely one I would have liked to see as well.
Oh, a cool one that I think a lot of people assumed this would, or wanted it to be a character, which I didn't think was really going to happen, was Linkle. Because Linkle, first of all, really weird fucking idea in the first place. For those of you that don't know, Linkle was a character introduced in Hyrule Warriors, where it's a female Link where she uses, like, dual crossbows as moves instead of, like, a regular, you know, sword and shield. And people really thought, like, that would be, like, a unique character, because, like, we wouldn't have, there's no character like that in Smash that like has crossbows as their main attack form. And I think that would have been a really cool like character choice for the game, because obviously like I feel like in general Hyrule Warriors made people go like, oh, this character would be really cool in Smash, right? Just because it felt like if they were able to pull a moveset for that game, they could do it in another game too. Like
they fleshed out a lot of characters in that game. And also, it's actually funny how I know another character that people had always thought about was Toon Zelda.
Right, Tetra, right?
Tetra or Toon Zelda too, because in Brawl's files there was like a character bin file for a Toon Zelda, and they were never implemented.
Right.
And Toon Zelda, like definitely like with Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, like you know she definitely can do different things than normal Zelda for sure. So that's one that I think could have been interesting as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like one that was a big discussion before this game's release, or even like to this day with DLC Fighter Pass 2, is the what are they called? The Guardians from Breath of the Wild.
Like one of the Guardians from Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
One of the four like what is it? There's Rivali
who's the Birdman. Urbosa's the Gerudo Queen.
Yeah,
I don't remember who the Goron was.
Oh, there's Daruk and there's Mipha. Yeah, those are the other two. Yeah, Daruk and Mipha. And, like, people theorized for a long time that one of them would get in. Because, like, yeah, I mean, like, obviously Breath of the Wild is pretty big. It would be hard to choose one. I mean, I don't think I would want, what's his name? Rivali, just because he'd be a lot like Captain. I mean, not Falco. I don't think he would be exactly like Falco. He could do his own stuff, but I felt like maybe a combination of them would have been really cool. But like the thing is, at the same time as Zelda, is like it's not like Mario, right? Where there's like a fuck ton of iconic characters, right? Because other than like Link, Ganon, and Zelda, then every character feels like a side character. Like obviously, like Tingle. I mean, I don't want Tingle. Epona's a horse, so like, what can you do with that? I mean, Smash can do anything.
Yeah, that's why it's like weird, you know, that we're saying like. Because Zelda, you know, a lot of the representation is like, you know, it's this Link, it's another Link, it's Zelda, it's Melee, or you know, like that sort of thing. But it's like that's all they can do, you know.
Exactly.
Like, a lot of the side characters aren't as fleshed out until like Hyrule Warriors. A lot of the side characters weren't really fleshed out characters, you know.
Exactly. Or what's it called? Or people are like the King of Red Lions, or who's another? I mean, Darunia from Ocarina 64. It's like, there are cool characters in there. Or, what's that guy everyone thirsts over in Breath of the Wild? Sidon, right? Sidon would be really
Prince
cool.
Sidon. A lot of people love Sidon.
Yeah, because he could have a spear. He could be like, dash to the map like a fish or some shit. He'd be really cool. It's like, yeah, that's like, it's like when you think about characters, it's like, I don't think, like, I think other than, like I said, another villain, I feel like they would just need one villain, and I think the franchise would be like fully well represented. Because again, like we said, a lot of characters are cool in the Zelda franchise, but you don't think of them as fighters in a sense. Again, like even Impa, or even not. I mean, oh no, people really wanted Impa, right?
I would be totally down for Impa for sure. I think Impa would be a sick fighter as well, because I know that they were a character in Skyward Sword as well, and that could definitely flesh out the representation there.
Right. And I mean, like, not current, because a current Impa's like really old and dying in Breath of the Wild.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, people also really love Midna, but that goes into assist trophy character, right? Where assist trophy area, because we have a lot of assist. I mean, we have 4 assist trophies. only, but we have a lot of items for Zelda 2. So when it comes to assist trophies, we have the characters. I feel like it's funny because the 3 main assist trophies are characters people would want. We have Girahim,
Right, yeah.
Midna, and Skull Kid. That's so weird. Like 3 of those are the characters people would really want. And obviously you have the Moon, which is really hilarious because it just like comes crash that. But yeah, like,
I mean, the Moon. I mean, it's weird because the Moon always felt like it should have been part of like something Skull Kid did, but it is cool it's there separately. But yeah, as we were saying, like Skull Kid, Midna, Girahim are all characters people would have liked to see as fully playable, and they're just like they're just assist trophies.
It's so weird.
I guess that goes to show like how we were saying a lot of side characters in Zelda like are not like really like as fleshed out as a lot of the Mario side characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do like that, like, Skull Kids. I do like that at least the assist trophies are really cool. Like, Girahim goes around slashing you, being a psycho. You got Midna, obviously, with the... is she... No, she doesn't have Wolf Link, right? She's just standing and throwing you, right?
It's Imp Midna. She has a long-range grab where she snatches you with her weave, which I think... Yeah. Honestly, what I would have honestly liked to play as a character with, like, a long-range, like, grab like that. That would have been really cool to play as, but...
Yeah, well, we're getting that in June. We're gonna definitely see a lot of...
Yeah, we'll see what happens to the arms. Right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the Moon, obviously, you can't do much with it, but really cool that they added that. And I mean, wait, isn't, what's his name? What the fuck's that creepy guy? Is it Tingle? Isn't he an assist trophy? Or did they remove that?
No, because he's on a Great Bay.
Oh, that's what it is.
He used to be an assist. You're right. He used to be an assist trophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, he would make random stuff happen.
I mean, but speaking of Zelda stages, we have 9 Zelda stages. I think actually the Zelda stages are actually some of my favorite and the most iconic in the series. Right? So let's go through them. So we have Hyrule Castle, the Great Bay, Temple, Bridge of Eldin, Pirate Ship, Gerudo Valley, Spirit Train, Skyloft, and the Great Plateau. So I actually think the Zelda stages are some of my favorites. Like they are stages that I actually gravitate towards a lot, whether it's like even if it's just competitive for like Omega or Battlefield or when I would play casual and stuff. Like I feel like they're all really cool stages. Like even obviously Hyrule Castle 64, it's like weird and iconic because like there's that little platform where you can bounce it around on the tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean even Hyrule Castle, which has like barely anything to do with Zelda, is like still very fondly remembered. You know?
Oh, for sure.
It's actually funny because if you think about it, I think the Zelda stages more so than other series are really iconic to Smash. Like when you think, what are your favorite Smash stages? Like people immediately jump to Temple. Temple's a big one. Yeah. A lot of people like in Brawl era, like a lot of people love the Bridge of Eldin because it was fun to like mess with the stage breaking and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people loved Great Bay, which was in Melee as well, and Pirate Ship. I think a lot of people like Pirate Ship too. So I think a lot of the stages for Zelda are stages that people like really think about when they think about Smash. You know.
I mean, again, like I said, like you said, like Temple is one. I have endless memories of Temple, just like with friends putting on 50 lives and going to Temple with all items, and obviously that bottom platform that everyone goes to, and just like you end up trying to bounce your friends over those platforms like a million times. It's just Temple is just so weirdly unique in how it's laid out. I feel like the layout of Temple is what makes it so cool, right? Because not only is it big, but like the areas in it you can distinctively remember and stuff. And obviously the song for it is just fantastic. The Temple theme is just, it's amazing. And yeah, like I said, Bridge of Eldin is really cool. I also really love the glow up it got in Ultimate because a lot of those stages got like cool redesigns. Pirate Ship is really unique too, right? Because like you're on the water can like push you away if you get there. It crashes onto a shore. It can have rain. I believe there's like the ships in the background shooting cannons at you, right?
Yeah. There's people shooting. There's towers that shoot at you from the back, and then like you said, the rain and the storm where the ship goes in the air and gravity is lower. That's super cool.
Yeah, and Gerudo Valley is really weird because like, does anything happen in that stage other than the bridge breaking? Oh no! Oh the
Twin Roba
the sisters.
Shows up and starts blowing up parts of the stage. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked if in Gerudo Valley like you actually had some of the are they called Gerudos? The rock guys?
Gerudos. Yeah. It'd be cool if they showed up.
It would have been cool if they showed up like rolling down the stage and you had to dodge them. Like that would have been really cool. Spear Chain is one of my favorites. Like, I think this stage is really funny. Obviously, seeing Conductor Link there, or the other guy who replaced him.
Alfonso.
Yeah, Alfonso. It's like, I think this stage is so funny. I love the way, like, I don't know, if someone falls on that rail, they just have to, like, accept that they've been defeated, and it's just like, it's such a cool stage in that sense. That's why I was so happy that they made them, like, it was so sad to see that it was on 3DS and not Wii U. So I was so happy to see that.
And now we get to enjoy it in all HD because it's on everything's an Ultimate. And then I'll segue into Skyloft real quick, but I want to say, like, the Great Plateau, which was like the first stages we saw for Smash Ultimate. I mean, I'm kind of like super indifferent. I mean, it's so I think it's more of an annoying stage of anything, how you can just bounce up in the middle. Like, not a lot happens. I wish more stuff from Breath of the Wild went down, and I wish, like, instead of the Great Plateau, which I understand is iconic, I kind of wish it was sort of like like a field, and like bokoblins and stuff would do stuff in the background, or you'd have like a boss from the game show up in the background or something like that, you know?
Well, I wish it was just actually the Great Plateau, like, not the tower. Like, I wish it was on the ground, the Great Plateau, and you can have like, I think this is an obvious one, right? Where you have a guardian show up in the background, point its laser at you, right? And like, you hear that song pop up when he comes, dun 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 dun. And it's like, having that laser come out to you, like, that would have been way smarter. And having, like, I don't know, a shrine or something pop up in the back, it's like,
especially because you have Metal Face and the Yellow Devil, who are stage bosses. They could have made a stage boss of a guardian on it, you know?
Like, that's like, a guardian is so iconic to Breath of the Wild. It's just like, I feel like I understand that with the like, being on a tower, you can see a lot of that world. Like, obviously, you can see the vault. Like, it's really gorgeous, the background, because you can see a lot of Breath of the Wild. Like, you can even see, like, the Ganon's castle. You could see like, a lot of the scenery. But, like, I would have even liked if it was, like, rotating, so you could see more of that world. But
right.
Yeah, no, it's I think that stage is okay, and it's really weird, the idea that, like, you can break the top of it, because I'm like, that's, I mean, obviously, like, you don't break the castle in Luigi's Mansion either, but it's like, that's such a weird random thing of, like, I guess I can do that. Yeah, no, really, really weird stage in that case. But yeah, you were gonna talk about Skyloft before.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to talk about Skyloft last is because it sort of segues into the next topic, but I thought Skyloft, for even as someone who wasn't like a huge fan of Skyward Sword, I thought that stage when it came out was like really fun. Like, all the platform layouts were super unique. Like, it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. And my favorite part of it was the remix that came with it for what was it, Zelda's Lullaby, I think?
Yes, I think it was Zelda's Lullaby. I'm pretty sure I can
Ballad of the Goddess, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Ballad of the Goddess. Yes.
Okay, so fun fact, side note, Ballad of the Goddess is Zelda's Lullaby played backwards. But Ballad of the Goddess, that remix is probably one of my favorite songs in Smash, man. Like, that guitar is so sick. When I heard that song, I'm like, absolutely.
It's so
I fucking
good.
love this song, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like, Zelda music in general is iconic, and a lot of the Smash remixes are really good. Like, I love the remix of the Breath of the Wild theme, like the Nintendo presentation one.
Which is like, you wouldn't think that, like, they'd remix a trailer music, but here we are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that song was so cool, right? Like, dun 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 dun. It's so good. It's I think in general, like, I feel like in general, like, aside from maybe a character or two, I feel like in general Zelda is like pretty well represented in terms of just like other concepts, because also there's a shit ton of Zelda items, right? Like, items are
items are so abundant in Zelda. Yeah.
What do we have here? We have for items we have the beetle,
which is Skyward Sword, so that's pretty cool. Bomb chews, which I think those. I think those were
those are Ocarina.
Majora's
yeah,
Mask,
those are
right?
Ocarina. Yeah.
Okay. Bunny Hood is Majora's Mask, which is super cool.
Bunny Hood is like iconic in Smash, right? Just because it's such a funny item where like you're running really quickly and you're jumping around. Like, most people don't even know that's from Zelda. They just associate it as like a Smash item in there.
Yeah, and you know, it's super fun. Like, I have really good memories of like Bunny, because there was a special brawl mode where everyone started with the Bunny Hood permanently. And that
Right.
was always so fun, just
Oh, for
having
sure.
everyone run at Mach speeds, you know?
Oh, yeah. And what's it called? Even the cuckoos, obviously, those are really cool because they just like they do what they do and they just attack the shit out of anyone
Yeah,
who throws them.
and it's funny because, you know, they're funnily enough, like, something that's, like, iconic to Zelda without being, like, something that people think about when they think of Zelda right away, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I love like one that causes a lot of chaos is the fairy bottle and heart container, right? Because like they both gotta like when they show up, they're one of those two items again where when they show up on stage, you want to go for it as soon as you can. And it's cool that for the fairy bottle specifically, you can't use it until. Is it that you can't use it when you're until 100%, right?
Yeah,
Or am I
so
thinking-
you have, yeah, the fairy bottle is if you're at 100%, it will heal you, but if you aren't, it's just a thrown item.
Yeah.
Which is
and
unique than every, like, no other
sure.
healing item acts that way, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's
And
funny,
what-
though, because we're talking about,
Yeah.
like, the items that are good, because I also like the Deku Nut. That's, like, a fun, like,
Yeah, it's a fun one.
It AoE stuns people, but for as many good, like, as much as the items that we like, it's funny that two of the worst items, I argue, are from Zelda, which is the Heart Container and the Gust Bellows.
Gust
oh,
Bellows.
boy.
Oh man, the Gust Bellows, bro.
Gust Bellows, I can't defend the Gust Bellows in any way. It's
the thing
awful.
about the Gust Bellows though is like it's almost one of those things of it's so bad it's good. Of like in terms of like you know when that comes on stage and someone gets it, you're dead. Like there's no way to escape that. Like if someone gets you in it, you're done. You're just gonna fly off the stage. Like and I think that's the point. But like it's such a mean piece of shit item.
It is a meme. Yeah, it's a meme.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things that you see and you immediately go, you know,
It's like why?
who has Gust Bellows on? You know,
Someone, yeah, only Gust Bellow match. That sounds like hell on earth. But yeah, like I said, it's like I do think for the most part. And obviously, there's a fuck ton of spirits in the game. The spirits pretty much cover almost every character that's notable in the series. And what's weird, it's like Pig Ganon was the only Zelda boss represented in Smash. Which is weird. Like I think that was the only boss from a Zelda game in Smash history. And you'd think they'd have more.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of surprising that they didn't do a Calamity Ganon fight, but I mean because it's Ocarina of Time Ganon, it wouldn't have made sense. So I totally get that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, in general, like, overall, for me personally, I think Zelda franchise is, I would say, very well represented. I wouldn't say it's perfect. I honestly think the one thing it's lacking is a character or two. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
think
like,
one more character to flesh out, maybe another villain to, to flesh out sort of the lineage of all the games would be perfect. Yeah,
Exactly. Like, because then I think it's fantastic. Because obviously you got a fuck ton of music, you've got amazing stages, you've got a well-rounded group of characters, you've got a ton of content based around that franchise. I think for the most part, for me, I think Zelda is pretty well represented, even though there's like multiple links in there and stuff. But I think that's it for me. What about you?
Yeah, I think again. I genuinely think with Ultimate, we got the best representation we could have, because as I said, previously it was sort of Zelda as a series, like they were sort of all bundled together except for Toon Link. Like this is the most recent game, and then we were stuck with Twilight Princess for Smash 4 2, and now I think they realize Zelda is much more than just like whatever game just came out, and then they sort of made it so that every character sort of represents a different part of Zelda, which I think is a very smart way to do it. I will say though, I think if any series makes me wish we had alternate costumes, it would definitely be Zelda, because I definitely want a Breath of the Wild Zelda skin.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a whole debate on its own. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for the Zelda talk. Let us know in the comments below, how do you feel about Zelda representation? Which characters would you like to see? What in general do you like about it, not like? What are your favorite stages, music, all that stuff? Let us know in the comments below. And that's it. That's all. So thank y'all for watching. As always, we're here every week talking about Smash. You can find me on Twitter at GamesCageX, on Twitch at GamesCage. Obviously here, if you're here, subscribe. And you can find Ultima Shadow X at Ultima Shadow X. So that's it. That's all. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.
Peace out.